most historical commentaries that we've ever done in the 4-year history of this 4-year history, 4.5 year history of football commentaries on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Burnley, I'll set the story up. Burnley without a win at Old Trafford for 58 years. The last time they won was a 5-2 victory over a Manchester United side just being rebuilt after the Munich air disaster clash of 1958 under Sir Matt Busby. Their team in fact consisted of Bobby Charlton. And that's how long it had been since Burnley last won a match at Old Trafford. Elvis was #1 at the top of the pops. Coronation Street was just 2 years into its time on television. And also the Beatles were just about to hit stardom and hit fame and hit it in such a big way. That's how long it was since Burnley last won a game at Old Trafford. But last night, were they about to lay those ghosts to rest? Manchester United coming into this game beaten by Liverpool very, very comfortably, 2-0, although they did make chances. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said in post-match, says we're still together, there's still a togetherness there. Would that be evident last night? But one thing's for certain, it was certainly going to be a momentous evening. So sit back and listen to a piece of potential history. And I'm not going to give many more than that. You're going to listen to the commentary for the full story. You're going to listen to history now for the next hour and a half, because it's Manchester United against Burnley. We'll also get reactions from the Burnley camp at the end, and of course hopefully we knew all that. Well, let's get back to 7:45 last night, where the teams emerged from the tunnel, but a little to know what was going to happen in front of us. Let's get back to 7:45 last night and to the commentary of Manchester United against Burnley. Welcome to Old Trafford on a night really that Burnley, come back from the dead against Leicester, and literally came back from the dead 1-0 down. Well, let's look at that Burnley side first with Nick Pope in goal. One change in the back four: Lowton, Tarkowski, and Taylor. Lowton replaces Phil Barsley, who didn't recover from his back injury on Sunday, so he comes in to decide at right back. Same midfield for us Sunday: Henrik, Cork, Westwood and McNeil, and then Chris Ward and Jay Rodriguez, the Burnley-born man, up front. On the bench, Hart, Brady, Peters, Lennon, Vidra, Long and young Goodridge, who may well get an opportunity to make his full league debut potentially here at Old Trafford this evening. What a lineup that is. And as I said, just the one change from Sunday. Bill Barsley did not make it on that injury he picked up against Leicester. The atmosphere absolutely superb, and we'll be looking at Manchester United's lineup in just a second or two. And here is that Manchester United lineup then, with David De Gea in goal. Back four of Wan-Bissaka, Phil Jones coming in, Noel Lindelof, Harry Maguire and Brandon Williams, and then three in the midfield with Fred, Pereira and Matic. Fred on the left and Matic on the left, sorry, Fred on the right. And up front, it's a front three of Juan Mata on the right, Martial in the centre, and Daniel James, the young lad they got for Swansea, up front. On the bench they've got Romero, Bailey, Lingard, Dalot, Shaw, Greenwood and Gomez. Still a decent United side, of course, missing Marcus Rashford now. He's going to be out for at least 3 months. The referee tonight comes from West Yorkshire, that's John Moss. And the VAR official is Graham Scott down at Stockley Park of Oxfordshire. So this is a real opportunity now for Burnley. 1962, you have to go back to the last time Burnley won a league game here at Old Trafford. They've only, of course, let's not forget, there have been some intervening years where both these sides have not been in the same division. Quite a number of those years. But off we go then. Manchester United in their famous red, with white shorts and dark stockings, get us away here at Old Trafford. Burnley, of course, in all sky blue. And Manchester United will attack the Stretford end away to our left. And then we get a very free kick there. Pretty robust challenge on Fred there, just in the centre there. That was Jack Cork coming back there and just taking his man. Burnley without a win, had lost the last four going into the Leicester game on Sunday, and came back right from the dead to win 2-1. Goals from Wood and Westwood and A one-man second half virtuoso goalkeeper display by Nick Pope, who kept everything that Leicester threw at him out, including a penalty from Jamie Vardy of all people. And here's Maguire tackling or heading the ball forward, or challenging I should say. Jones hasn't had too many games this season. One of his very rare starts, and Martial takes it away from his man. Now there's going to be problems. Here's Pereira now trying to control. Martial, edge of the area, turns again, and a chance here for Fred. Fred gets his shot off, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Burnley. Good shot, rather tame. That defeat at Liverpool on Sunday, they were beaten 2-0. Second goal, they were caught on the break. And they've also been in trouble with the powers that be. Manchester United, for failing to control their players. I think they've been fined something like £20,000 or something like that from the FA for failure to control their players, which is not what you want at this stage of the season. They're in 5th place at the moment, but the atmosphere around Old Trafford, I've got to tell you, is not a nice one at the moment. There are a lot of empty seats. It's almost been back to a week ago when we did Wolves against in the Wolves Cup replay. It's a similar situation to this. But the Burnley fans are in good voice. My fellow Clarets, 2,500 away to my right. And the ball back to David De Gea. Much criticism of his performance as the ball comes down. Mind you, he's found Pereira pretty well and halfway. Good long kick by De Gea. Now his fellow Spaniard Mata has it on the far side. Mata gets it back again. Infield to Martial. Back inside again. Offside I think against Fred, I think. As Mata was making a diagonal run there. Good spot there by Mark Perry on the far side, the assistant. And free kick already. 2.5 minutes gone. 0-0 here. Delayed coverage of this Premier League clash between Manchester United and Burnley. Neil keeps possession, finds Ben Mee. Ball played back once again. And here's Pope. Owen Yoa gets the ball forward. A bit under pressure there from Martial, but then finds the other penalty area where David De Gea is waiting. Compliments to take the ball. Seeing a shot there with Sean Dyche, the Burnley manager. Well, there's a lot of people calling for his head. I don't remember myself as what it does, because he looked as if he was scratching his head and running out of ideas. And they were free-falling in form. They had a bad defeat at Everton, which we covered. They had a disastrous defeat at home to Aston Villa, which should have really been 3 points under normal circumstances, but wasn't to be. I mean, they won against Peterborough in the Cup and then had another shocking display at Chelsea, but that result at Leicester seems to have galvanised them a little bit, and they play with that fearless spirit, which I know Burnley are capable of. Then there's every chance in the world that they had a potential shock to happen. Remember, they've won twice now. They've won twice in the last 2 years at Old Trafford, remember, and threw away 2-goal leads in both of those, although they were robbed, I thought, a year ago at Old Trafford when Lingard did his dying swan routine and won Manchester United a penalty which they should never have got. And I think on that occasion John Moss was the referee there as well, so there you go. Here's Matic now made away inside his own half, plays the ball out to Brandon Williams. Williams now will try and take on his man, which is Jeff Henrick, who's playing on the right hand side today. And here's Maguire into Fred. Now Matic, the big tall midfield player, and then the ball back to big Harry Maguire. And now David De Gea. And there's been a bit of we're expecting probably if United don't start too well tonight, I think there may well be a bad reaction from the supporters. There are a number of them down, and Martial is down in the centre circle. This is not good news for Manchester United, considering that they've only missing Rashford for a certain amount of time, and this is the first home match under Solskjaer and he hasn't had Rashford in the squad, and that's how important it is to him. And now if they lose Martial too, this could be even bigger for them. We've just had over just nearly 5.5 minutes gone. This is what happened. Challenging there with Tarkowski. I think Martial must have jarred his knee when jumping, I think. Nothing wrong with the challenge by Tarkowski. Martial just in a lot of pain there. We've got the physio on at the moment. Jay Rodriguez showing a little bit of concern there. Having a little chat there with Juan Mata. The physio there just in the centre circle. Martial is up and on his feet. He's been told to get off the pitch. If you're going to receive more treatment, you've got to get off it. Martial trying to play the victim, of course, but John Moss standing, of course, for no nonsense. Just into that, Martin Atkinson is the fourth official this evening. Forward, and it's an easy one there for David De Gea. And now Manchester United having to dig their way out of a corner here with Matic, who did really well, good skill there. Burnley now just bending them in a little bit. As Williams makes a good dart forward and now picks up Pereira, now Danny James. James has got Williams on the overlap. Williams was trying desperately hard to stay on side on the left hand channel. James has it on the left now. Ambling towards the penalty area. 7 minutes gone, it's 0-0 here between Manchester United and Burnley. Mick Pope kicks away. Martial, I think, is back with us on the field anyway. And Westwood in there. Great moment for him on Sunday to score that winning goal against Leicester, which gave Burnley a much welcome 2-1 result. A good result at that, 2-1 win. Matic with the throw in then. Back to David De Gea. Now, there's going to be some murmurs of discontent among United supporters. Some of them still believe that the glory days should still be happening, but there is going to come a time when teams have to go through transitional periods, and I think United are going through theirs now. As the ball goes in towards James inside the area, turned across, and good defending there in the 6-yard box by Tarkowski. Did really well and managed to hook it behind for a corner. Still 0-0. And here's Pereira now to take it. We've got ball girls on display at Old Trafford tonight. Back to Pereira once again. Finds the ball in, and that's too close to Nick Pope, who's on a yellow strip tonight. Holds the ball out. FA Cup action coming up this weekend. I can also tell you that Shrewsbury against Liverpool will be one of our featured matches. We'll let you know nearer the weekend what matches we're doing and what we're not doing. As the ball is played in there, Henrik inside the area, trying to thread that ball through, but loses possession. Here's a chance now for Pereira to get it forward now. Finds Brendan Williams. Williams checks, plays the ball across. It's really well here. Manchester United in good possession. And Wan-Bissaka keeps possession. Good football this from Manchester United. Keeping it in at the moment. Into the 9th minute of the first half. So far so good for Burnley. Keeping United at 0-0. Not expected to attack Manchester United at will tonight, the Clarets. United will be, the onus will be on Manchester United to take the game to Burnley. But what that Leicester win does do for the Clarets, actually, it takes a lot of pressure off tonight now, because in some circles this could be classed as a free hit for Burnley in some respects. This is Williams now on the left hand side. Takes on Lowton, beats it though. Edge of the area. And Fred will try the shot, blocked away by Jack Cork. Wan-Bissaka now finds Mata. Into Martial, back to Mata once again. Wan-Bissaka is still there on the right hand side for an overlapping pass. Pereira has possession, takes it from Martial. Now Wan-Bissaka, the man they got from Crystal Palace. Ball into the penalty area and turned away by Lowton as Pereira came charging in there. And a goal kick, in fact, to Burnley. 0-0, 10.5 minutes gone as that ball was played in behind Benby, but Tarks was on hand to put Pereira off. Tried to wrap Bonner the ball towards goal, and It didn't come off for Pereira. Goal kick out to the Clarets. Well to take. The hero of Sunday afternoon. At the turf. Kicks away right footed. 11 minutes almost gone. 0-0 is the score at Old Trafford. The game delayed on the JB Claret YouTube channel. And here's Brandon Williams now on the left hand side for Manchester United. Just over the halfway line. He plays a wonderful ball down the left for Dan James to chase. Burnley need to be on their pedal defensively. Here's James again. James towards the edge of the area. Nardi chips the ball forward. Matic can't control it. Now a chance here for Burnley on the right, maybe with Rodriguez, but back came Harry Maguire and knocks the ball back to David De Gea. Still 0-0. Good first half performance this from Burnley. They're hemming United, or inviting United to hem them in and say, come on break us down. Go and have a go if you think you're brave enough. Here's Williams now for Manchester United. The onus is on them, the pressure's on them to attack. Surely something will have to be given as every moment goes by. As the ball is chipped forward to Pereira, edge of the area. Pereira shoots, blocked away from the edge of the D by James Tarkowski. Did really well there, Tarkowski. Absolutely superbly. Here's Wan-Bissaka, turns nicely. And now away and into touch. And that'll be a throw in. And there's the score. Game delayed from Old Trafford. And it's been the first half really that's ebbed and flowed a lot, but it's been all Manchester United in the attack. Burnley not really testing David De Gea. What they'll stick to really is their set play playing, see what comes of it from there, and just see it out. No. 13 minutes gone here at Old Trafford. Burnley doing a good job at the moment. Jeff Emerick is going to throw it on the near side, midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. Westwood now to me. Back to Taylor, who's had a marvellous season so far individually for Burnley. Takes on Juan Mata, goes past him. Tries to feed Jack Cork. Cork gets the break of the ball, and then under pressure for United players. The ball into the penalty area. Rodriguez is offside. I just had to break off for a second because Rodriguez was still running. And the near side, Eddie Sparks promptly put the flag up. And back to his, but yes, it was Jay Rodriguez just offside. We get down to Manchester United. David De Gea to take just by the penalty spot. Just the penalty spot as I look at it from the Bobby Charlton stand rolling. On the left we've got the Stretford end, and to the right we've got the other end at Old Trafford, and then on the opposite side to where I am, it's the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, named after the club's greatest ever manager of all time. 30 major prizes at Old Trafford since he came back in November 1986. He was sacked after 3 years of no success. Mark Romney's gold runner Forest saved his bacon. He wanted to win the FA Cup that year, and they never looked back since. 19 Premier League titles, 3 European Cups, so much. They won the World Cup Championship a couple of times as well, the Intercontinental. They've won so much. Manchester United have covered this side. As Wan-Bissaka plays it in towards Martial, and he can't get there. But Williams can, and Pereira inside the penalty area. Left hand side, wins the corner. Martial though just showing his threat. And Wan-Bissaka here, good running down the right hand channel, crossing there, well cross. Needed a better collection there, the Frenchman. Otherwise that was 1-0 to Manchester United. be, in fact it's a goal kick. Just over a quarter of an hour played dead at Old Trafford. 0-0 is the score. Sean Dyche and fourth official Martin Atkinson having a little bit of a conversation. Not sure if it's that jovial, but you know what Sean Dyche is like. As well, Bill Jones had to get in there stronger because just for a moment or two, Burnley looked as if they were going to break then to score. It was Wood who flicked it on. It was Jay Rodriguez on his way, and Jones had to get back there. As the throw-in is taken, this is a real opportunity now for Burnley now to really surprise United, perhaps. Tarkowski, oh, nice dummy there. Sold it to Daniel James very, very well. Sold Daniel James a dummy and more. He's put Matt Lowton there. He plays the ball forward. 16.5 minutes gone. 0-0. More chip forward by Tarkowski. Very high in the air. Trying to look up into the Old Trafford skyline. But it found McNeil on the far side. Right, McNeil. I'd like to see him really attack defenders more as we go into the second half of this season. That's what I'd like to see more of him actually do. Because I think he's, on his day, very capable, a very capable player. Not much doubt about that. 1-0 is the score. As the ball comes in there towards Henrik. Tucked away once more. And Hook now volleys the ball back, and that's in the arms of David De Gea. So there is the scoreline. He's De Gea to do it away off the floor. Martial slipped, but somehow maintained possession of the ball. Did really well. Mata, good tackle. Did really well there, Westwood. And Tarkowski before that, and the ball was a bit misplaced. And back to David De Gea. Tarkowski gets the ball back, excuse me there. It's got a little bit of a throw, a little bit of a dodgy throw, but I'm okay to continue. And the throw-in comes Manchester United's way from Pope's clearance. United 0, Burnley 0 is the scoreline at Old Trafford. With 19 minutes almost of the first half play. We're 20 seconds shy of that mark. The throw-in comes in. It's won by Rodriguez. But then the ball goes straight to Nemanja Matic. He finds Brandon Williams on this left-hand side here for Manchester United. Danny James back to Harry Maguire. And get it back to his goalkeeper, David De Gea. Also, as a bonus, we'll be at, I think we'll be at Villa Park on Tuesday night, potentially for our League Cup semi-final, evenly poised at 1 apiece, and what a game that promises to be. And here's Wan-Bissaka now for Manchester United, far side. Pereira now to Fred, 25 yards from goal. James on the edge of the D, edge of the Burnley D, and now the ball turned on into Fred's path. Maguire now, and United again having to go backwards. Burnley have just retreated back and made it so difficult for Burnley, for their defence to be penetrated by Manchester United at the moment. It's been a rip-roaring 19 minutes, but Burnley are holding on firm, and holding on, I have to say, quite comfortably. Here's Williams now from a misplaced pass. Comes deep inside Burnley territory, but then chips an aimless ball which Ben Beaker controlled nicely on the chest and hook it away. Now it's over on the left-hand side. It's still inside the Burnley half, however, with Taylor. Hits it long and down there for McNeil and Rodriguez to chase. Maguire's there first, however. Rodriguez putting him under a lot of pressure, but I have to say, Maguire did really well there. And got Manchester United out of a bit of a hole. With 20.5 minutes gone at Old Trafford, coming up towards the halfway mark of the first period here. Delay commentary on Manchester United against Burnley on the JB Claret YouTube channel. This is Wan-Bissaka. Infield to Matic. Now Brandon Williams. Williams controls it. Good football this again. James wins possession. James now going towards the byline. James now taking on his man. Chips the ball straight in. But back comes Tarkowski. And now Taylor to get it away for Burnley. Taylor doing magnificently well. Can he hook a ball forward? Yes, he can. Turned away now by Wood. Wood does, in turn does really well. Finds Ashley Westwood. Westwood does extremely well himself, and he finds Matt Lowton. Lowton doing extremely well himself. Right hand side, plays the ball in, but it's too close to the goalkeeper. And still it remains 0-0. Here's Pereira, chips the ball forward, and it's too close. It's too close to Nick Pope. Too much pace on it for Martial to even get anywhere near it, let alone control it. Potentially shoot, and then of course he had to watch the issue of an offside, potential offside decision. So there was that to consider as well. Still 0-0. Here's Pereira again running towards the area. Mata in support, left hand side of the area, shoots, and it was going places, blocked by me. And then another shot back in, left footed, this time by Fred. And it was well held by Nick Pope, although it was easy for him because Fred hit the shot, but he didn't hit it as well as he would have liked it. Again, it was a little bit tame, and it allowed Nick to get down there and make the save. It was a really good save by Pope. It was really easy for Nick Pope there. Here's McNeil on towards Rodriguez on the far side, does really well there, but wins a throw in off Phil Jones, did really well there. Midway inside the Manchester United half. Burnley will be very happy the way the first half of the first half's gone. We're halfway through it now. Nearly 23 minutes. Jeff Henrik just got the ball stuck under his feet there about 35 yards from goal. And now Martial, but he loses possession and Lowton wins it. And now feeds... near me, that was an awful challenge from behind there by Brandon Williams, and I'll be very, very surprised if a yellow card isn't brandished for that from the youngster. Just a little bit of petulance there by the youngster. Obviously frustrated there as he just clatters into Lowton. It's a definite foul there for me. And a free kick has been given. I don't think he's going to get a yellow card there, Williams, but it's a definite Burnley free kick. Now, this is where United have got to be wary of here. Set plays. They just need to make sure they keep Burnley at arm's length, because Burnley, as we all know, through set pieces can be dangerous. It's neither going to be McNeil or Westwood. Westwood right foot into the penalty area. Lucky the ball's Burnley. Flicks it on. A chance in there for Ward, and he heads it wide. And that is a warning. If Manchester United needed a warning, they've certainly got it from Burnley there. Didn't defend the set piece well enough. Ben Mee was virtually unmarked to win the ball. Wood was onside. And Maguire was nowhere, and if that had been on target, well, it might have been dreamland for Burnley. 24 gone, and amazingly it still remains 0-0. How? It's probably one of the biggest mysteries of the world, but well, there you go. It still remains goalless, believe it or not, at Old Trafford. How? We will never be known. Never been over, but Old Trafford is in a good place right now. Jeff Henrik gets Burnley moving again in possession. Still amazingly remains goalless. Here's Pope, kicks long, high and into the Salford skyline. Of course, Manchester United's ground's based near Salford, so it's technically in Salford, although they are a club in Manchester. And here's Pereira now, out to Wan-Bissaka. 25 gone here at Old Trafford. Still 0-0 between Manchester United and Burnley here in the Premier League. It's almost similar scenes to what we saw against Wolves here in the Cup replay a week ago. The opposition is totally different. Here's Williams, edge of the area. Williams shoots. Oh, it's a tame effort. It's poor, but it comes to Matic though. Burnley didn't really clear their lines as well as they might have done. And there's a man 3 on that far side, and I think it's Pereira, and he's played an awful ball into the path of Cork. And then just says to Charlie Taylor, hoof it up the field as possibly can down the left hand side and force a mistake, which they have done. McNeil to Westwood, now Cork. And Cork did well, had to turn nicely there, and he turned nicely there. 5 yards inside his own half. Very dangerous place to have the ball, because Manchester United, when they do attack, they do like to attack lightning fast. Meanwhile, free kick to Burnley, foul on Charlie Taylor. Juan Mata, free kick with 26 minutes just over gone. Got to be left for Nick Pope here to hoist into the Manchester skyline. Burnley there, just giving a warning shot to Manchester United that they're not here to make up any numbers. They're not here to sit back and be dictated to. They've come to make a game of it. Here's Pope with a free kick. Long one towards the edge of the penalty area. The United penalty area, that is. And then ball hooked away once more. This has been a performance and a half. This is Williams. Williams in support. Good football again. Matic does really well here for United. And he finds Pereira. Pereira turns and he finds Williams on the left hand side. Still Burnley 0, Manchester United 0 at Old Trafford. Or it's the other way, as it is the other way round. It's Man United 0, Burnley 0, I should say. Here's Maguire. Maguire turning, being forced to play to Jones by the presence of Rodriguez, and now it's being picked up very threateningly there by Wood. Good defending from the front with the Burnley strikers, but the ball's now to Wan-Bissaka. This could be trouble. The fact this cross deflects, and in fact it didn't reach Juan Mata. It did reach Juan Mata, but he couldn't control it. Did a little deflection from the cross. Sorted that, and Manchester United denied again. Burnley just holding their look a little bit. Ball deflects there off Taylor, and it fell quite plainly there. So that deflection from Taylor away put Mata off as he tried to hook the ball in with his right foot, and the Spaniard couldn't do it. The former Spanish international scored last week in that victory, that narrow victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers in the FA Cup third round. Ball flicked on, and that's going to be looking to play again with Wan-Bissaka. Probably at this moment in time, with almost half an hour gone, being Manchester United's best outlet in anything at the moment. And that's how dismal it's been, really, as regards the game. As United come charging forward once again. Here's the ball lost there. Rodriguez wins possession, finds Henrik. Back to Rodriguez, goes down, free kick Burnley in a very promising position. It was Henrik playing the ball through, and in fact it was actually Westwood who was tripped there by Matic. Westwood was tripped there by Matic, so a free kick with nearly half an hour. We're a minute shy of the half-hour mark at Old Trafford, and Manchester United are on the back foot all of a sudden. McNeil or Henrik are the two-men. McNeil and Henrik are the two-men committee over the set piece. Now this is going to be interesting. Who's going to fancy this? Could be a right foot Henrik. Left foot McNeil. Let's see what happens. He's got to think he's right McNeil with his left foot, and he is, but he's hit it way into the stand. Away to my left, and the goal kick to Manchester United with nearly half an hour gone. Just got well underneath it there, Dwight McNeil. It was about a four-man Manchester United wall, and unfortunately for McNeil, way too much underneath it. And they, of course, have got Norwich in the Cup on Saturday, then they've got Arsenal a week on Sunday, kick off 2 o'clock, and then Bournemouth, I think, a week later as well. If they take 4 more points, at least from those next 2 games, unless if they take anything from here as well, the most likely aspect will be looking at this. They'll be quite happy for a point shown that, men. 3 would be an absolute bonus for them. Here's Williams playing it in there towards James, but they've lost possession again. United have been guilty of that now the last 5 minutes a few times. And here's McNeil, and he's got it out to that far side, and Taylor will cross first time. Flicked on into the area, but it was Jack Corkswick. Nowhere near Chris Warden. Into the arms of goalkeeper David De Gea. Gets Matic moving again from Manchester United. Gets him on his way. Pereira's on his way too. On the left hand side is Dan James. James goes short. Pereira once again chips the ball out towards the far side. Does really well. Finds Wan-Bissaka up against McNeil. Tries to beat McNeil. Does so. Gets the cross in there. And oh, what a good header, and what a super save from Daniel James by Nick Pope. 6 yards out. Daniel James looped a header in. Again, good work on the right from Manchester United by Wan-Bissaka. James thinks he scored here. And, well, credit to the goalkeeper there. It was a marvellous save, but Matt Lowton should not be getting beaten in the air like that. And Dan James is not even 6 foot. And still rose above that Burnley defence. There'll be a little bit of a worry there for Sean Dyche. He gets up above Lawton there, and that's going in, but Nick Pope there, carrying on his magnificent form from Sunday afternoon against Leicester, with a real save of genius there with his right hand and getting it out for the corner, which came in fact to nothing. And here come Manchester United again. 32 and a bit minutes gone, and here's Dan James running at all comers here. James plays the ball in. He'll find Martial deep inside the Burnley penalty area, but Henrik got a foot in there, stayed on his feet. That was good quality defending there by the makeshift Burnley right midfield player. Doesn't usually play that. It's not his chosen position. It's usually central midfield. But Dyche still sees him as a utility player. Still yet to sign a new contract at the club. Jeff Henrik, I think he deserves one for the amount of hard unsung work he gets through, and I think he deserves a bit more respect from Burnley in his hands. And so ball plays in there, Martial's in, and what a challenge! What a challenge there by Charlie Taylor, because it looked as if Martial was in for 1-0. The square ball from the left hand side from Matic was an absolute peach. Took Tarkowski and me out of it, but not Charlie Taylor. Good alert defending here from the former Leeds man, and it comes off the Frenchman Martial last, and a goal kick to Burnley. Well, Manchester United foiled again. Match this Burnley defending there, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's men, well, they're being frustrated, there's no doubt about that. Here's Nick Pope with the kick. Well, is it going to be Burnley's day when things like that are going for you? I mean, if it had been one of that bad run of games, and they couldn't win in 4, one of them being a defeat to Manchester United actually, and it should have been 3 or 4 to United that night against the Clarets. You just wonder now, if they'd have played like that against United at Turf Moor, they might have potentially taken 3 points off on that night. Funny that, really, isn't it? It's with me, but there's a little bit of a statistical backup here, because it also shows that Burnley, when they were away from home, played better against Manchester United than they did when they host Manchester United. They actually haven't beaten Manchester United at any level in any league game since 2009. That was a 1-0 win at Turf Moor, and a certain Robbie Blake scored the winning goal. 19 minutes the goal was timed out, and Brian Jensen, you may remember, made the magnificent penalty save and kept the likes of Rooney out, kept the likes of Owen out, kept the likes of several United players, and they had a good side at that time. They just lost Ronaldo, but they still went for a bit of a outbid, and somehow we won 1-0. And of course Blake could have doubled the lead in the second half of that game as well, but it was Burnley's first home match in the Premier League since 1976 that night. But at the moment, their first win here at Old Trafford since 1962 is still on with 10 minutes of the first half left, and they'll be pleased with their efforts thus far. I have to say, they've done remarkably well in the way they've gone about their business. That's one of the impressive things for me. They've really gone out there, done the business, and have really shown to everyone at large, as well as myself and probably the world at large, that they are a good side. They do amazingly well. And start remains goalless as we go into the closing stages of the first half. Ball threaded forward and we'll chase down the left hand side. The ball is threaded forward again. Burnley still looking to T2 on, still looking to absolutely go for it here. Yes, the ball is threaded through again, and here's Rodriguez now on the right hand side. Just to check back, mind you. Now Norton keeps possession. And the ball threaded through. Runs away again. Still 0-0. And we go towards the closing stages of the first half. Come now towards the end of the first half. Remember, 0-0 is the score. And so far so good. As Henrik chips that ball in once again. And that's surely going to be a free kick there. Foul by Jones. And here's a situation really for Burnley to really exploit things here now. 0-0 is the score. As we come up towards 37 minutes gone. Free kick right on halfway line. This will be an important moment in the game if they could pinch a goal from here on in. It's going to be Westwood to take it, maybe. Tarkowski possibly. As the ball is threaded in there again, the target will be Burnley. Wins the header well. Was it on the area? It's gone! It's gone! It's Chris Wood! It's his 10th goal of the season! And Chris Wood has just scored a priceless goal at Old Trafford for Burnley. A ground where they've not won for 58 years. Manchester United 0, Burnley 1. There's the free kick, and Burnley wins it on the edge of the penalty area. And it came so vitally there for Chris Wood. Hooks it in left-footed. Ashley Westwood took the free kick. Mee wins it, and what a good finish. And what a moment for Burnley and the supporters. It's Manchester United 0, Burnley 1. Chris Wood's 10th goal of the season. And what a time to get it. Manchester United 0, Burnley 1. And as the wheels are always bust forward and are falling over again. 39 minutes gone, Burnley have the lead. And it's the third year running they've taken the lead at Old Trafford in games between these sides. Martial is stripped from behind by Jay Rodriguez. But this now is the acid test for Manchester United. Can they force themselves that 2-goal cushion? Here's that ball from Nani towards the far side. Wan-Bissaka takes it down beautifully. Tackled beautifully there by Taylor. And this game never ceases to amaze one. Never ever ceases to amaze one. Here's Wan-Bissaka now, far side. They're shell-shocked here, the Manchester United fans. They can't believe it. Here's Maguire. Maguire turning nicely. Did really well. He's turned and he's turned. Still United come again. Chip forward. And Burnley just says to Pop, pick that up if you possibly can. Take some sting out of the game. Manchester United 0, Burnley 1, the score at Old Trafford. Who would have thought it at the start? The way both teams have gone about their business has been absolutely amazing. Old Trafford can believe it either. It's still a densely populated Old Trafford with lots of empty seats there, but here comes the corner taken short. Williams with the cross into the penalty area. Well taken. Well taken there by the goalkeeper. Did really well there. Nick Pope, marvellous goalkeeping. 3 minutes to go to half time. And the ball chipped forward now. Maguire reads the situation beautifully for Manchester United. Henrik now in possession. Henrik turns nicely. Loses possession once again. And the ball hooked back to Nick Pope once more. Pope gets it away. A long ball forward. Flick on there by Rodriguez. It will come from Maguire. And yeah, is Williams. Williams turns. Pereira in possession. And we've got about 3 minutes plus stoppage time of the first half to go. We'll take a 2-minute break and we'll reconvene with the whole second half for you from Old Trafford. It's delayed coverage of tonight's match as James wins possession. Tries to play 1-2 there with Juan Mata. In fact, instead feeds the ball here to Pereira. Left hand side here for Manchester United. Inside the final couple of minutes. As we come up towards the last couple of minutes, Pereira tries to bend it in right-footed from outside the penalty area, left-hand side of the penalty area, but hits it way to the Stretford end and the goal kick to Burnley. With just shy of 2 minutes plus stoppage time left of the first half. What a performance Burnley have done. They've been magnificent defensively and they have scored. They haven't learnt their lessons, United, from the set play beforehand, when Wood headed just wide of the target. So lessons really have well and truly not been learnt, as the ball is picked high and long and forwards. And easy there for Court to head it forward down the left hand side. Rodriguez picks the ball up. Just got over 90 seconds plus stoppage time to play in the first half. Manchester United 0, Burnley 1. The game delayed. Here comes Martial now for United. Picks up Pereira, left to the D. Moves into the penalty area. Pereira shoots. Again along the ground. Easy for Nick Pope. Just to dive across to his left. And gather the ball in, no problems, as we've got around 70 seconds left of the first half. Normal time, that is. Probably be about a minute, I would have thought, of stoppage time at the end. We'll have to see. There's that one ball. Is it again high and long by Pope? Fred cuts the ball out, wearing Nani's old shirt number, of course. Pereira now for United. Inside the last minute of normal time. Brandon Williams now on the left for Manchester United. Inside it goes to Nemanja Matic. Into Fred again. Martial was also available on the left hand side. Wan-Bissaka off on Mata's pass. Come to the right. Mata infield. Now Martial once again. Infield to Nard. Infield to Fred, sorry. And here is Pereira. Oh, he's giving it straight away. Jack Cork, well anticipated anyway by the Burnley player. He's anticipated a good pass to Charlie Taylor, who tries to get Westwood running down that left hand flank towards the Manchester United box, and nearly succeeded in doing so. Last minute of the first, we've had the 1 minute. We're into the 1 minute, I should say. We've had the 45, I was going to say. Here's Westwood now. We're into that 1 minute of time and now. We've had 10 seconds of it, incidentally. Here's... Oh, that's a foul on Jay Rodriguez. That's a foul there. Brandon Williams knew exactly what he was doing. And I'll be amazed now if he gets away without a caution card there. And that, in any other circumstances, would have been classed as a professional foul. The referee, after his second challenge, and it was an hefty challenge before that, decreed that Williams deserved to get away with one there. And here's ball chipped in there towards the far side, and what a header! What a brilliant header! What a brilliant header away by Mattis. He's probably been United's standout player of the first half, but for Burnley, this is dreamland. And I'm a self-confessed clever as we played the 1 minute of stoppage time, and the referee checking his watch, surely he must bring this to a close. The Burnley fans away to my right are cock-a-hoot on the near side. Turner, ball out of play, and the corner to Burnley. Played 25 seconds over that time, 1 minute. They might just be allowed to take it. We had all that shenanigans at Everton on Boxing Day. You may remember. They're going to be allowed to take this one. It's, the ball is... Oh, Wood almost got a flick on it. Punched away by De Gea. Westwood will try again. Westwood's corners, as you all know, go right into under the crossbar, which makes it very difficult for goalkeepers. We're playing nearly 2 minutes of stoppage time. A minute over a minute. And a long ball forward again. Still with play on. Referee John Moss deciding to play on, but now he stopped the game for half time. And Burnley through Chris Wood. His 10th goal of the season has put Ole Gunnar Solskjaer into the mire and the bus off the road for the time being. But what a moment for Sean Dyche. What a fillip for him and his side. Deservedly taking the lead. United had chances before that. United didn't really learn their lessons from before when a header went wide from Chris Wood from a similar set piece, and Solskjaer will be annoyed by that. But great moment for Burnley and for Chris Wood. Burnley lead at half time. We're going to take a 2-minute break. Half time here at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 0 and jubilant Burnley 1. Welcome back to Old Trafford for the start of the second half. Manchester United 0, Burnley 1. Chris Wood with the goal on 39 minutes. There's been a substitution for Manchester United at half-time. Off comes Pereira and on comes young Mason Greenwood as Burnley prepared to get the second half underway. And what a game this promises to be now. If Burnley can get a second goal here, well, there's all sorts of possibilities arising as Manchester United look to try and equalise in this second half. Remember, 1-0 to the Clarets, that goal from Chris Wood. So let's see what Mason Greenwood can do as he bombs down that side, and Daniel James too, and across straight in the arms of Nick Pope. Barely unchanged on there in the first half as well. So this really is a real test now of Manchester United's quality and their resilience. Can they get back into this game? It's important that they do so, of course, but you never know in this game what may well occur. Here's Maguire taking possession, and he finds Phil Jones. Jones does magnificently well, finds Wan-Bissaka. And here come Manchester United, or Burnley rather. Westwood out towards Taylor now. Here comes McNeil. Good tackle there. And a good challenge there. Mason Greenwood in there very strongly. And it's going to be a corner to Burnley. It might go short, but I've got a feeling it might be Westwood in again and under the goalkeeper, under the goalkeeper's crossbar. What is like inside the 6-yard area here as the cross corner comes in. The United attacking the goal to our right. Burnley to Stretford end in the second half. And here comes Wood, chips it forward on towards McNeil. Dwight McNeil let go by Manchester United, of course, as a youngster. Oh, and they appeal for handball. I have to say that looked like handball there by the defender there, Fred. And Burnley are not happy. I think they're incensed, and then there's a collision there between De Gea and a Burnley player. I'm not sure who it is. Ben Mee just saw the captain's armband there, and well, we know how tough Ben Mee is. McNeil there now. Was this handball? Oh, I tell you what, his arm's out. I think that's a penalty. VAR have checked it, but I said no penalty. Graham Scott would have been called for. VAR would have checked it by now, I would have thought, but that looked a penalty. And then the other collision there between me and De Gea. Oof, tell you what, that's a hefty collision between two players who will fight all but sundry. In fact, it's a free kick to Manchester United after all that, which actually is a bit of a disappointment, because Burnley had a clear case, I felt, for a penalty. So a free kick it is, and here's Jones to get on with it for Manchester United. 2 goals down. Well, excuse me, here's Maguire now. Here's Danny James. There'll be uproar if United score here now. Still James, left hand side, cross deflected off Henrik. It will be a throw in down by that far left hand side quadrant to Manchester United. And here comes another ball. It'll be left to Williams to take, far side. Williams to take it. 5 minutes almost gone of the second half. He's been a shining light. I think too much pressure's on the youngsters. As the ball comes to Matic inside the penalty area. Wilton has to stay on his feet, and Ben Mee too. And Ben Mee's done really well to getting towards that corner, that far side corner quadrant, down at the Burnley end of the ground where they're defending. And here comes Cork and Westwood to win the next ball, and that's a good ball. If McNeil can reach it, and he can reach it. Well played, Dwight McNeil. Did really well, and a good tackle there by Wan-Bissaka, and more energy called for by Sean Dyche. I think that's got to be the blueprint now for United, for Burnley now. If they can get a second goal on the break, well, what a fillip it could be for them. It still remains 1-0 to Burnley, and Taylor will take the throw-in level with the penalty area. 5 minutes of the second half gone. Into Cork. Still on the left-hand side. Wan-Bissaka. There we go. It's a Manchester United ball. Excuse me. As the throw comes in again, and that's out of play. Still a United throw, and it's a long throw this time, and one matter to take another throw in. Still remains 1-0 as Wan-Bissaka takes over, gets the ball back. Wan-Bissaka again, does magnificently well, finds Nani. Now Wan-Bissaka. Nani once more, spreads the play magnificently well. Here we go again, Manchester United. Here's James, finds Williams, far side. Williams back inside to Matic. Matic having to turn, finds Nani. Nani again, looking towards Wan-Bissaka. Does really well, the former England fullback, formerly Crystal Palace. Wan-Bissaka still there. Here's Matic, 25 from goal. Plays it to the left-hand side. Here's Williams from James's pass. Now James onto the return. It's Daniel James into the area. Turned away brilliantly by James Tarkowski. Did really well there, the Welshman there. Side from Swansea, and then the ball played in from Williams. Well taken again by Nick Pope, who's had a marvellous game thus far, and a good throw out too. And he's got Dwight McNeil on his way here down the left-hand side. It's 3 against 3 more or less in the centre, and the ball pulled back and from the left-hand side, turned away by Harry Maguire. 52 minutes gone. It's still Manchester United 0, Burnley 1. And here come Manchester United. One Mata played it in, but Ben Mee again resolute right to the last here for Burnley. Now the ball breaks. One Mata again, tries again in towards the area. Greenwood was waiting with intent inside the penalty area. And then a free kick to Burnley against One Mata, who protests his innocence, but it is a free kick. And well, Burnley will be a rather relieved by that, I would have thought, to be fair. And well, John Moss, the referee, standing, as I say, for any real nonsense here tonight. One kick now by Nick Pope. Again, the headers go up. It's Wan-Bissaka to win the next one for Palace, but Man United, sorry. Because the former Crystal Palace player. Here's Cork into Enric, trying to turn it on, but the ball instead towards David De Gea. He gets on with it straight away. No messing about. He finds Nemanja Matic, the former Chelsea man. Gets it out to the far side. Chelsea, former Chelsea man, spreads the ball forward. That's Matic I'm talking about. Well cut out there by Dwight McNeil. McNeil does well, and they're throwing to Manchester United. Came off McNeil last. The referee and the linesman were right. Wan-Bissaka to take it. Finds Phil Jones. Back to Wan-Bissaka once again. Phil Jones takes possession again. Finds Harry Maguire. Maguire turns and looks to see what's on. Thought about hitting a long ball, but he found Brandon Williams on to his left. Looking to get James into the game. Looking to find Mata, but again a good sturdy challenge there from Ben Mee, out of touch. It's a throw in to Manchester United deep inside their own half of the field. 54 minutes gone, excuse me. As Fred plays the ball out of play, and it's a team clearance away. It's out for a Burnley throw. Well, the take. Can Burnley snatch a second goal? Well, not with passes like that, I'm afraid. Jack Cork there, the latest one, guilty of giving the ball away rather cynically and cheaply. Rodriguez sliding in there on, and I think, was it Matic? Free kick it is, only to Manchester United. 10 minutes gone in the second half. United looking for this equaliser. Greenwood can't go on the end of that through ball, and it's well taken there by Nick Pope. Nick's now just going to take his time, stay composed, waste as much time as he legally can. Of course, you've got to be within the boundaries of the game, and he does that. He kicks the ball long and forward, and that's going to run possibly to Wan-Bissaka. Indeed it will. Manchester United ball in line with the edge of their own 18-yard box. So that was a good kick there down the field there by Nick Pope. Did really well there, the Burnley goalkeeper. It's the ball spread forward. Rodriguez is there. Rodriguez is in the area. Rodriguez shoots, it's gone! It's a magnificent goal from Jay Rodriguez! Oh, that was pure genius! Absolutely pure genius! Manchester United 0, Burnley 2. This is some game, this. Absolutely brilliant. And the wheels of Ollie's bus are beginning to fall off big time. What a finish this was. Inside the area, left foot, bang, into the net, past David De Gea. A sheer goal of pure genius from Jay Rodriguez, and Burnley have gone 2 up at Manchester United. Can you believe this? It's Manchester United 0, Burnley 2. We're in dreamland here, and the Clarets, 3,000 Clarets, are completely and utterly cock a hoop. And glum faces on the excuse me, the Manchester United contingent. I can't believe their side have gone 2 goals down. It's totally unreal. Pinch myself, am I dreaming this? Am I actually dreaming this? Manchester United 0, Burnley 2. Jay Rodriguez, 7th goal this season for the hometown boy. His last goals were in the cup against Peterborough. Here's Mata now. Manchester United 2 goals down as we come towards the 58th minute. Chipped into the penalty area. Again a poor cross, and Ben B for the umpteenth time. Meat and drink to a guy like him. Maguire in to win the next ball. Finds Matic. James to Matic, left hand side. Free kick Man United, I should say. I can hear 1 or 2 distasteful chants as well towards the Manchester United hierarchy, including Ed Woodward. That's not good news to hear. A lot of problems at Old Trafford at the moment. Here's Juan Mata with a 3 kick to United. Into the area, Jones is there! Inside the area, and well defended again by the Clarets. Wan-Bissaka now for Manchester United. Into the edge of the area. Danger still not away yet for Burnley. Played in there by Matic, but away goes Ashley Westwood. Tremendous, tenacious play there by the former Villa man, who had a magnificent game on Sunday afternoon against Leicester. Now we're going to see an injury here. Phil Jones is down inside the centre circle. United not putting the ball out at the moment. On Mata. United carrying on. Jones is back up on his feet, but he's still injured. Here's Matic now. United 2 goals down. They're needing the 2 goals of the snooker here to get out of this one. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Takes on his man to the edge of the area. Fred chips the ball forward. And the ball comes away again. Matic now. I said Marnie then because I'm like, I've got him on the brain, but then again, my beloved Burnley are 2 up at Old Trafford. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka takes on his man. He beats Taylor. He's got round him. This is dangerous. So just for a second or 2, I thought Burnley were going to be carved apart, but they weren't. And it stays 2-0. Coming up to an hour gone. Half an hour for between Burnley and their first win at Old Trafford since 1962. Who would have believed this? But let's not forget, folks, Burnley have been here before. 12 months ago they were 2 up at this stage and looking increasingly like ending that hoodoo. And then some late drama at the end from Manchester United. No doubt Jesse Lingard conned the referee to win a penalty, which didn't look a penalty, and I still maintain that a year on. But they got an equaliser in the 4th minute of stoppage time as well. Needless to say, Rashford has prevented the penalty that was given. And then Lindelof got the equaliser. And again, it happened a couple of years ago as well, on Boxing Day. So anything could still happen. Of course, we were beaten in 3 at Old Trafford, let's not forget. The first season we were up, we went here and we were absolutely outplayed for 90 minutes. And it was the heroics, you may remember, of Tom Heaton, and he made one super save you may remember from Ibrahimovic, which was out of this world. Save of the season, in my opinion. Williams looks offside. And what's he given here? Absolutely correct decision. In fact, it's the case, the free kick to Burnley, because he's offside there. This is the second goal again. Westwood playing the ball into Wood. Then back to Rodriguez. Left foot, bang! In the net it goes. As I said earlier, a goal of pure genius. And certainly a goal very worthy of being pure genius. Manchester United 0, Burnley 2. And 29.5 minutes left. Or 28 rather and a half minutes to go at Old Trafford. And here's Greenwood taking possession inside his own half. Feeds one Mata, now Greenwood. Greenwood has to turn. Finds Matic. And here's James. Back to Matic again. I've got a specially prepared line, folks, if Burnley do hang on. You may well hear it in half an hour's time when the whistle goes. Here's Greenwood. Greenwood now towards the edge of the area. Into James, who shoots, and he shoots just wide of the right-hand post. That was a very genuinely good chance that for Manchester United to get themselves back into this game. And James, who hasn't scored since August, well, you won't get a better chance than this. Right foot. It was curling nicely, but Ben May did a good defensive job there, just to show him a little bit further away, and in the end the shot was about a couple of yards wide of the right hand post, and a goal kick to Burnley now. And I don't think Jay Rodriguez will ever score a better goal for Burnley or ever again in his career. Excuse me there, we lost sound there for a second. It's a very, very dodgy commentary box here at Old Trafford, I've got to tell you. They haven't given us the best area, and there's lots of wires around, and I'm jumping up and out of my seat in excitement. And here's Rodriguez now, looking for Wood. The ball is over him, and Wood has kept that alive. Wood has kept that in play. And now Taylor takes possession. Taylor gets the cross into the penalty area. Turned away again by Maguire. Now then, a chance here for Enrique, who was being rattled to the ground there, and it had to be a free kick there to Burnley, in a very promising position again. Greenwood the offender, and Burnley now with a set-piece chance midway inside the United half, and if they play it right and play it to perfection, they could score a third. And let's not forget, it's not beyond the realms of possibility, they could score a third here, the Clarets. And if they do that, that would be amazing. Meanwhile, Westwood is injured as well. I think it might be his right ankle, you know. That doesn't look too promising. They do have substitutes. I'll just run through them again. United have already used one. Greenwood already on for Pereira. They've got left Romero, the goalkeeper, Barry, Lingard, Dalot, Shaw and Gomez. And the Burnley subs, they can choose from any of these. Hart, Brady, Peters, Aaron Lennon, Matty Vidra, Kevin Long, a young Goodridge, who's come through the youth academy, has had a bit of a taste of it at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in that very best from the Claret's point of view, best begotten 5-0 defeat before Christmas by Tottenham Hotspur. Well, the Manchester United fans are furious. They are saying there are one or two unsavoury scenes concerning Ed Woodward. I'll come back to that in a second because it's a Burnley free kick. McNeil chips the ball into the penalty area and the ball comes back and it comes to Cork inside the area, stamped it forward, and almost a third there for Burnley. Still might be here with Taylor. Taylor does well, chips the ball into the penalty area and turned away by Brandon Williams, and there's a lot of toxic atmosphere around Old Trafford at the moment. There's some very horrible things being said about Ed Woodward, which I'm not going to repeat on the air, I'm afraid to say. It sounds as if, I'm just going to break off for a second, Pope gets it away and finds Henrik. I'm afraid to say that these United fans are a disgrace to their football club and a disgrace to their fan base, because they have I've actually heard things about Ed Woodward that are very, very obscene and very, very disgusting, I'm afraid. The free kick meanwhile to Manchester United, and the yellow card is going to be given here against Ben Mee. Is it Charlie Taylor? In fact, United are saying he's the last man, and there may be a VAR check on this. Greenwood is through, but I think Ben Mee might have just saved Taylor there, and I think there's going to be a VAR check to see if the yellow card gets upgraded to red, and Charlie Taylor does not like that at all. His future of the game now could be in a little bit of jeopardy here. If it goes his way, he'll be very relieved, but if it goes against him, I think it's a harsh decision. Meanwhile, I think, are they checking for VAR yet? I think they've got to check it. I think the VAR decision this is ridiculous. Westwood, now they're checking it with VAR. I thought so. Denial of a goal scored opportunity. I don't think you can say that as a denial of a goal scored opportunity. I think Ben Mee could have got round there for me. I'm not saying it to be Burnley biased, but I think the referees probably come to the right conclusion here, and I think the decision was correct. There's a few annoyances from Manchester United supporters, obviously, but I think the yellow card was about right, and I think there would have been a covering defender. Ben Mee would have got back in time, but Burnley are not out of the woods yet. Juan Mata may be over this set piece, and I fancy him here. It's inside the D, almost central to the goal. So you're looking at about 22 yards out here, and there's a few United fans offering prayer here. If they can get this in, Burnley could be in for a very dodgy last 23 minutes or so. Mata over the wall, but over the bar, and a goal kick with 68 minutes gone. We've had 67 and 68 minutes now, and Manchester United still trail 2-0 here at Old Trafford to Burnley, and they're going to make a double substitution. One of them's Jesse Lingard and the other is Luke Shaw, and Brandon Williams is going to be withdrawn. That's the first change. Luke Shaw will replace him, the former Southampton man, and also we're going to see Daniel James withdrawn as well. Jesse Lingard, who hasn't scored himself too much, has been well out of favour this season. It's probably been well known this season for his social media exploits than he has for any goals he's scored on the field. He's hardly scored anything this season, and he was a fully fledged England international not 18 months ago, playing in the World Cup. What a fall from grace he's had. Excuse me again. It's that time of year when coughs and colds come out into their own. But I tell you what, Manchester United are in a real bundle of disarray. Now I'm just going to, when we get a breaking play, I just want to go back to the chanting, the horrible chanting by some United supporters about Ed Woodward. But here come Burnley now. Let's concentrate on the positives. And Burnley have been a real plus to the game tonight, and they've done really well and have earned their 2-goal lead. And here's Greenwood, who came on as a half-time substitution. Burnley yet to make their 3 subs, and Manchester United have used all 3 now. So Romero, Bally, Dalot, and Gomez will not be needed tonight. 69, 70 minutes gone. 20 to play, just over. Manchester United 0, Burnley 2. Burnley this week are on course for their first victory in 58 years. 1962 the last time they won at Old Trafford in the league. Wan-Bissaka loses Bobotin and out of play it goes. So the cheers of the Burnley contingent. But I just want to make a point about the Manchester United fans who about 5-10 minutes ago were making some very obscene chants towards Ed Woodward in particular, wanting him to die. And I think that's disgraceful. I think that's horrible, and he shouldn't even be allowed, not alone in a football, in society even, let alone in a football stadium. I know Ed Woodward has made some errors at Manchester United, and I'm an outsider looking in at the club, but I have to tell you, the abuse that Ed Woodward is getting, and I'm told he's not here tonight to hear it, so it's probably a waste of time anyway, but they must be ashamed of themselves. I don't know. I can understand United's frustration, and you can say things like suck the board and all that sort of thing, but wanting a fellow human being dead is disgraceful. As Lingard shoots and it's deflected away, it comes to Matic. Just break off for a second, Nani. Here's Mata trying to cheat in, and Burnley defend heroically again. Wood winning possession, and Manchester United will have to reload. But to want Ed Woodward to die is totally out of order, and it's not condoned in society, let alone in a football stadium. Here's Fred again for Manchester United, and this is the time where United fans really got to get behind their team now, because let's face it, and Lingard wants a corner, he's not going to get it. Goal kick intact to Burnley. Well, this is where United have got to get behind the team. Forget about the boardroom shenanigans. It's not worth it. It comes off Lingard last. I don't know what he was protesting about there, Jesse Lingard. But one thing those chants will not help with is the team out on the field for Manchester United. It's not going to help the young lads like Williams and Greenwood and people like that. And yeah, it's understandable that they've got to keep one out in Rashford out with an injury, but let's not detract from the fact that Burnley have dug in deep and have scored 2 goals, and have scored 2 magnificent goals. One a goal of pure genius, one a set-piece goal, which Manchester United, in fairness to them, should have defended an awful lot better. So you can't really blame Burnley for what's going on at Old Trafford. It would be only their second defeat at Old Trafford should it happen tonight, Manchester United, but they've had so many defeats on the troubles. It's hard to look beyond the negative side of things for United. But let's look at Burnley at the moment. If they hang on and get 3 points, they'll go to 30 points. They'll go 7 above that relegation zone, which at this moment in time is a good cushion to have. And if they can get 4 points in the next 2 games, that will take them to 34, and you would fancy them to knock the points off in the last 8 games as well, last 6 or 7 games as well, because they're all against teams around them in the bottom half of the table. This is a horrendous run really for Burnley, which will last until at least February, and they have to play some of the top teams. As Martial tries another shot, and well saved at the left-hand post by Nick Pope. Turns it out for a corner beyond the left post, and a corner it is to Manchester United with 74 minutes almost played here at Old Trafford. The game delayed commentary of this Premier League clash between Burnley and Manchester United at Old Trafford, and Jones got up by the penalty spot, but his header was tame, and it was straining the arms of the man in all yellow tonight, Nick Pope. And he's had a good game as well, Nick. He's done really well, Pope. Absolutely superb. And there's a few nice chants there from the Burnley supporters about Nick, claiming that he should be England's #1. I've got to admit, if you look at the form of the last 2 games alone, you'd say that Pope would be a certainty to be in the England 23 for the Euros come the summer. And it wouldn't surprise me in the least if he's #1, although I'm sure Dean Henderson, who's had a magnificent season at Sheffield United, might well argue with him on that one. On loan from Manchester United as well, Dean Henderson, terrific goalkeeper doing the business at his loanee club, Sheffield United. they're in action as well. They were in action last night, incidentally, against Manchester City, where he really excelled himself. They lost 1-0, but he had a magnificent match. Dean Henderson, he did really, really well. Maguire now for Manchester United. 2 goals down with a quarter of an hour left to play. There's still time left. Remember, Burnley were leading at the same stage 2-0 last time. And look what happened there. But it's 2-0. FA Cup action to come. One of the games that will be featured will be down at the New Meadow on Sunday evening at 5 o'clock, where we're going to be in the Midlands for that one, down at Shrewsbury, home scene of many a great cup shock, as Manchester City and Everton and Ipswich will have known down the years. Shrewsbury will not be a great place for Jurgen Klopp's team to go to. No doubt he'll make changes, Klopp, for this one. For that one, you'll be able to hear that game live on the JB Claret channel at 5 o'clock. And we'll have 2 or 3 other cup ties as well over the course of the weekend. Check our Facebook page for more details. That's www.facebook.com/the JB Claret YouTube channel. This is Rodriguez now for Burnley. 2 goals up and on complete command of this game. Defensively, they've been sound. They've looked really assured. And here's Taylor knocking it into the penalty box. And once again, good defending again by United. But Burnley not afraid to attack. They've been fearless tonight. I feel like they've been to their old fearless selves as well. In the second half, they weren't their best, admittedly, in the first half on Sunday against Leicester, when Leicester could have scored 4, admittedly. But in the second half, they were back to themselves, the Clarets, and got the win with dogged determination and some magnificent goalkeeping by Nick Pope. And of course, Wood getting his 9th goal of the season that day, and then Ashley Westwood with his first ever goal at Turf Moor, and only 2nd goal in fact for Burnley. And what a priceless goal that could be in terms of Burnley's season. Of course, they've scored another 2 potentially priceless goals here at Old Trafford this evening. Manchester United 0, Burnley 2. The last time we covered Burnley away from home, it was a disappointing 1-0 defeat at Everton. They've been far from disappointed here. 13 to play. Burnley still looking to try and break out again. First win since 1962. Tantalisingly now 13 minutes away. But wait a minute. Here's Fred now for Manchester United. Burnley aren't finished yet. Burnley haven't won this game yet, and a ball in there to the penalty box by Shaw, turned away brilliantly by Ben Mee. This has been far his best game of the season. He didn't have a particularly good afternoon at Leicester, admittedly. He was a bit all over the place, concession of a penalty. Should he have done better on the goals Leicester scored for Harvey Barnes? Lots of question marks asked about him. Should he be captain? Well, he's answered all the critics here tonight. Another shot comes in from Martial. Again, right-footed, and again, tamely hit, which was easy for Nick Pope. Easy indeed. And that's getting, and the more this keeps happening for Manchester United, the more frustrated it getting. There's a lot of fog around the Old Trafford ground now. Quite a low crowd, but still we can have a good clear view of the pitch. With a lot of fog there. Low cloud I can see in the floodlights. The silhouette of the floodlights here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Burnley 2. And the atmosphere here amongst the United supporters is very toxic. Remember, I told you about an incident involving Ed Woodward, where the fans made some very, very horrible chants about Ed Woodward asking Ed Woodward to die. I think that's absolutely absurd, and I think these individuals should be looked at on CCTV and have the book thrown at them and actually have a heart. You know, some of them should have a heart. As Lingard shoots inside the penalty area, Shaw did well, good work down the left by him, but still United come again, and another good header there, towering header this time from James Tarkowski, doing magnificently well. Still United come again, Wan-Bissaka. They're not giving up anyway. That's, I think if there's any positives in defeat that Solskjaer, potentially in defeat, that Solskjaer can take from this, is the fact they kept trying and kept probing. But they've come up against this very, very sturdy Burnley side tonight, who have worked back to their old selves again. And as a Burnley fan, self-confessed of course, it's been refreshing to see. There's still a long way to go yet. 10 minutes for stoppage time. As the ball's thread in there by Wan-Bissaka. 10.5 minutes, I should have said, plus stoppage time. There's still another half a minute before we get to the 80th minute. But what I will say is that Burnley dogged it in defence. They haven't made a single substitution yet. Here's Shaw now far side, and they're still full of will in Burnley. They're not giving in. There's no signs of them being tired or anything, or even jaded for that matter. Here's Maguire now has come forward. Jones has come forward deep inside the Burnley territory. It's almost as if every outfield player's in the Burnley half by, apart from the goalkeeper, David De Gea. He's the only one left inside the United half. Everyone else is in the Burnley half. This is Mata on the right. Now Wan-Bissaka. Burnley have brought everybody bar sundry back behind the ball. Matic. They're determined to hold on for this precious 2-goal lead and hold on to it for as long as they can. They've got 9.5 minutes to do that, plus any stoppage time at the end. And here's Greenwood to Matic. Can Burnley hold out? Still Matic. Might try the shot. No, he goes in field. Here's Fred on the edge of the area. Picks out Shaw. Left hand side. Shaw tries the cross. And Jeff Henrik wasn't going to be fooled by that. Out of play for a throw in to Manchester United. In line almost with the edge of the Burnley box. On the far side. The left hand side of Manchester United. Another throw in one. This time about 5 yards from the edge of the penalty area. Not in line, of course. And 81 minutes played. Still 2-0 to Burnley. Goals from Wood and Rodriguez, the two strikers who have caused United fans to really go into rage mode. And here comes Jones into the area, low cross, turned away brilliantly there by Ben Mee. Magnificent defending and turned away brilliantly by Charlie Taylor. And here's Boris Maguire though. Maguire has to turn. 8.5 minutes left to play, plus any time added on for stoppages. Manchester United 0, Burnley 2. Mata now for United. Into Greenwood on the right hand side. Back inside to Fred. Well, he tried the shot. There's supposed to be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Burnley defenders behind that ball now. Chip forward again by Maguire, looking for Wan-Bissaka, but well taken down beautifully there. As Dwight McNeil waited for it and did ever so well, but he ran into traffic though. Wan-Bissaka dispossessed him. He's probably been United's best player. And here's Greenwood, bursting towards the area. Greenwood shoots, and he shoots just wide of the left hand upright. Pope was not getting anywhere near that if that was on target. Thankfully, from a Burnley point of view, it wasn't. And well, maybe you have the post covered, in fact, fairness to Nick Pope there. But well, if you're a Burnley fan, you won't be carrying of Manchester United's problems right now. You're being dreamland at the moment. But remember, 12 months ago it was the same situation, and Burnley lost a 2-goal lead in controversial circumstances, it must be said, when Lingard conned the referee into giving him a penalty, which was never a penalty, against Jeff Henrik. Rashford took away the penalty, then Lindelof scored a late equaliser, and United stole a point in the game when they shouldn't have got anything from. Anyway, here comes McNeil. McNeil now, a long ball forward and a nice ball forward towards Chris Wood, and he gets the throw in. Brilliant. Solskjaer trying to protect himself from the cold. Maybe now he's starting, but may well have to protect himself from all the criticism and the stick that's going to be coming his way now. United fans, certain sections of them have seen more than enough. So a lot of them are heading for the exit gates, and you could tell that. And there's a lot of empty seats here at Old Trafford, I'm afraid to say. Well, that's very poor support. I know United fans have been used to a lot of success over the years under Ferguson and all that sort of thing, but this is absolutely ridiculous. But then, from a Burnley point of view, frankly, who cares? Here's sorry, United fans. Here come Burnley now once more with Henrik chipping the ball out. Onside is Rodriguez, and Wood, but the flag is up. Well, I didn't think Rodriguez was offside there, I have to confess, but Mark Perry decided it was. And away go Manchester United with Fred. Finds on the far side here. Fred again. Now Matic. Matic takes the ball inside the centre circle. 5.5 minutes left to play, plus any time added on for stoppages. Greenwood in possession, edge of the area. Greenwood again looking for all comers. Shot comes in over the top by Martial, right-footed into the stand. Goal kick to Burnley, and it still remains 2-0 to the Clarets as we go into what Sir Alex Ferguson would always say when he was in charge: squeaky bum time. Oh, is it going to be squeaky bum time? Well, United fans are voting with their feet. Some of them were way over the top tonight, it's got to be said. Some of the abuse aimed at Ed Woodward was a disgrace, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Anyway, enough about that. Let's concentrate on the positive news tonight, that Burnley may well be on course for a first victory here in 58 years. 1962 you have to go back to, remember, when the last time they won a game. Elvis was topping the charts every other week. The Beatles were just about to make it big, not just here but across the pond in America. And Coronation Street had just been 2 years into being. That's how long it has been. Mind you, there's been intermittent periods in that time since. That's a free kick against United for an horrible challenge of Jay Rodriguez by Wan-Bissaka. There has been intermittent times, quite a lot of intermittent times, where one teams haven't met due to them being in different leagues to each other. But one thing's for certain: both sides are. This victory has been long overdue. Should it be a victory, of course, by Burnley, one doesn't want to make prophecies at this stage of the game, and it will be a time to cheer and celebrate a huge victory here. And they'll be celebrating back in the Lancashire town tonight. It's a wonderful, wondrous little town, just 20 miles away from here. A place where I'm proud to say I was born in. I was born, in fact, half a mile from Turf Moor, and I'm not scared to talk about my roots, where I'm from. I'm proud to come from Burnley. I'm a Burnley lad, and to see my team, to see my hometown club come to Old Trafford and lead 2-0 with so little time remaining is suddenly a dream come true. And I'm not trying to be biased against Manchester United. They have tried in the second half, but they haven't been good enough. Here's Matic now for United, deep inside Burnley territory. Can Burnley hang on in there? There's been a few lucky escapes, of course, for Burnley. Shaw's letting him down. He's got possession unbelievably off Henrik. The ball played in there, but Burnley again to a man deal with the situation manfully. We're coming up now to the last couple of minutes. Here's Lingard now towards the right hand side. Wan-Bissaka now. Lingard on the overlap. Lingard against Charlie Taylor, but Taylor says no way, Jesse, you're getting anywhere near that ball. Good defending by Charlie Taylor. Now then, can Burnley hold on in there? They've conceded a throw, and down goes Dwight McNeil, a man that was unashamedly shown the door as a youngster at Manchester United. Said he couldn't make the grade. Well, he's met the grade and more here, and has shown Manchester United. He's got injured incidentally. Kick out by Wan-Bissaka, possibly should be very fortunate there not to receive a yellow card for that. And Ali Beattie, the man who, the medical man, Sean Dyche's trusted medic. And Dwight McNeil is a tough cookie, a tough lad. Came into the Burnley side a year ago, halfway through last season when things weren't going right for Sean Dyche's team. They'd been thrashed 5-1 by Everton. He came into the side and really in some respects has never looked back since. Here's Juan Mata now, the fog now streaming down here on Old Trafford as the gloom descends on this famous old ground. It used to be known as the Theatre of Dreams. It's becoming the stuff of nightmares at the moment for Manchester United. 1 minute of normal time remains. Burnley are almost there now. Maybe 3, maybe 4 minutes of stoppage time I'm hearing. We'll get full confirmation from Martin Atkinson, who's the fourth official. I have to say Graham Scott has had a good game with VAR as well. Got all the major decisions right. Here comes Jones now for United. That's found Wan-Bissaka. Infield it goes to Mata. Mata chips the ball in. Chance here for Shaw, but a goal has been given. No, it's not. It's been chalked off. Push on Henrik. Push on Henrik. The goal's not going to stand. And I think, again, John Moss, who's a Birmingham who I've always criticised in the past, but tonight he's had a rare thing for me to say about him. He's had a fine game. And I think this is a fine decision too. And VAR will check it, of course. And I'm sure Graham Scott down at Stockley Park will say the same thing as what John Moss saw. Clear push on Henrik, and quite rightly the goal will not stand, and that's just a typical end, and that just signifies how bad an evening it has been for Manchester United. We're now into 4 added minutes, incidentally a stoppage time, and when that whistle goes in 4 minutes from now, should Burnley hang on in there, they've still got their clean sheet, of course. All they've got to do is just be cautious and just don't do anything stupid. As I said the other week at Bramall Way when Sheffield United, they almost lost 2 points because of their not showing their professional pride. Only VAR saved them from beating West Ham, of course, getting that victory. Otherwise it might have been a draw. But which would have been a delight for West Ham fans. VAR quite rightly chalked that goal off, you may remember, for Declan Rice. Snodgrass put the ball in, but Rice handballed it in the build-up, you may remember. Burnley have got to show that professionals care now and just make sure they bring about the victory. They've got just under 3 minutes now of the 4 left. Here's Mata now. United trying to show more effort, but I fear that time's running out on them. But also time is still up against Burnley here. They've got to keep defending now to the bitter end. Corner came in, well headed away there by Charlie Taylor. He's had a magnificent game tonight for the Clarets. Here's Wan-Bissaka into Fred. Fred. They've got to ask questions here, United, of that Clarets defence. Here's Mata again. He's been a shadow of the player we saw against Wolves last week when he scored that terrific goal over John Ruddy and into the back of the net. Well, it's becoming an impossible dream. And look at that. Sir Alex Ferguson's stand is completely and utterly empty. 2 of the 4 minutes to go. What a win this is going to be for Burnley. You know what? Who cares? Burnley are on course for an historical win. 1962, a 5-2 win against the side that had Bobby Charlton in it and was managed, of course, by another United great, Sir Matt Busby. The Burnley fans know that they're just 90 seconds away from a famous victory. Pope with the goal kick then for Burnley. What a performance they've put up. And all you can hear really is 3,000 absolute Clarets who are in total ecstasy, total dreamland. And it's one of those moments where you want to pinch yourself and say, is this really happening? Is this a dream? Or is this really happening? Well, I'll tell you what, it is really happening. 1 minute to go. Burnley nearly there now. United needing 2 goals, and Snooker's now in that last minute to even save a point. Here comes the ball into the penalty area, and surely McNeil will win that one, and he does so magnificently. Wan-Bissaka fouls him, and that's another good decision from Jonathan Moss. He's had a magnificent game, the referee. Well, that's a good free kick for Burnley to win. And Wan-Bissaka being spoken to. He's only shown 1 yellow card, and that was to Charlie Taylor. And Sean Dyche knows that he's 30 seconds away from greatness again. There's a lot of people, myself included, calling for his head a few games ago. And I tell you what, he's proved me and a lot of the critics at Turf Moor completely wrong again. How do we doubt him? Why do we doubt him, really? United 5 seconds away from a defeat that's going to be highly damaging for them, but let's not detract from Burnley's performance. They've been magnificent to a man. All eyes on John Moss. We've played the 4 minutes of stoppage time. Seconds remaining here at Turf Moor. Referee checking his watch. This is going to be surely the last act of a terrific game for Burnley Football Club. We've played 20 seconds over the allotted 4 minutes. United will come again for a consolation through Shaw into the penalty area, headed away, And surely Burnley can get it out, and then Pope makes a magnificent save again from Mason Greenwood, and that's it! It's all over! It's all over! Burnley have done it! Their first win at Old Trafford since 1962. And here is a message to you all. Bobby Charlton, Georgie Best, Sir Matt Busby, Brian Robson, Eric Cantona, Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, Sir Alex Ferguson. Can you hear me? Sir Alex Ferguson, your boys took one hell of a beating. Your boys took a hell of a beating. Burnley have gone there to Old Trafford and have defied the odds again and have beaten Manchester United by 2-0. What an unbelievable performance from Sean Dyche's men. Unbelievable, and deserve every plaudit under the sun. Absolutely superb. To a man, they've been magnificent. Dwight McNeil and Chris Wood, absolute stalwarts, and they're all going over as one, this Burnley side, to the pocket of supporters. There's about 3,000 of them there who are absolutely cock-a-hoot with joy. David De Gea, head bowed in disgrace, and these United players will be frustrated with themselves, but who cares about Manchester United right now? The plaudits must go to the Clarets. They have played to a man magnificently and deserve every plaudit. Let's face it, they deserve every plaudit under the sun. Dwight McNeil was magnificent. 2 magnificent goals, one from a set piece from Chris Wood, and what a goal from Jay Rodriguez to make it 2. And Sir Alex Ferguson will not be at all happy by that. Solskjaer trying to applaud whoever's left here at Old Trafford off, but it's not, let's face it. It was a good convincing win for the Clarets, who defended terrifically well and deserve all the encouragement, all the praise. There were certain pockets of United supporters that disgraced their club and disgraced themselves tonight. That'll be said in another video I'm going to do. But here at Old Trafford tonight, Burnley have done it. They walk off jubilant and happy, and Burnley fans will make that pilgrimage back to Burnley, and it will be a lot sweeter for it. Final score here at Old Trafford, and a remarkable night for Burnley Football Club. It's finished Manchester United 0, Burnley 2. Wow, what a game. What a game last night. That was fantastic. I have to say, Burnley were good value for that victory. They were fearless, they were expressive, they took the game to Manchester United and scored, as I say, scored 2 magnificent goals. And you can't really moan about it, really, because they came out there and performed admirably. They scored 2, as I say, 2 magnificent goals, and I hope you enjoyed my commentary at the end. I was so thrilled that I had to quote that Norwegian commentator when they beat England all those years ago in a World Cup qualifier, when he mentioned things like Clement Attlee and Winston Churchill and the Maggie Thatcher thing, Lady Diana and all that lot. It was just unbelievable. But one thing I will say is that Burnley was superb. And I'm sorry to say that some of the United supporters, as I say, I'll say it in another video, were a complete disgrace to the club. But let's not worry about that now. Let's talk to the 2-goal hero. Let's firstly talk to Jay Rodriguez, the man who got the magnificent second goal to give Burnley their victory. It was a magnificent performance. Jay Rodriguez now talking to Clarets player Spielberg.
win the game, but no, I think it's just really, you know, I don't particularly like the winning. Yeah, it's a good feeling, so that I'm really buzzing. Very good performance. It wasn't really smashing down. They did a very good job. Yeah, no, definitely. I think we're proud of the team. You know, the lads are all stick together, and we, you know, the lads, you see the lads know how they work together. Really, as one. We have the fun. I think first half, we could have been better. We could have been for sure. And we all said that half time for them when it's on something, and I think, you know, the second half showed our true grit. It's really important. It's such an effort. And this group of players in history books in 1962, the last time going around. I wasn't born, no idea, so it just puts in perspective what I'm looking at. Yeah, it does. I think at the end, you know, the fans singing away, it's so special there as well, you know. It's a long time coming, and it's important. These things are important, you know, especially these players. You want to put that game to get to, you know, but it's important and it's ready for the next game. The history's nice, but we put these a long day, back-to-back wins for the difference, that's me. It does, I think, you know, back-to-back wins are always important for everything, momentum, confidence, and, you know, you make sure you're doing the right things, and I think now we've got to take some of the guys that need to push on even more. I think we can still improve. I think we're 30 points, it's a healthy situation, isn't it? But as you say, you're not stuck here. Yeah, we need more. Yeah, we need to keep working it extra hard, and the game against Norwich now, and the cup is equally as important. Keep the momentum and keep doing the right things, ready for the next game.
Yes, what's that, Jamie Rodriguez? A terrific performance and a terrific goal. It's surely got to be up there for goal of the season. Well, let's have a look at one of the other goal heroes. The man who got the first goal, 10th goal of the season. That's Chris Wood. He's also been speaking to Corrib's player after the match. He's been speaking again after the match. He's happy. Chris Wood, 2-0, as I say, to Burnley. Let's hear from the man who masterminded this terrific performance last night. Sean Dyche. He was talking with Corrib's players, Des Bentley, after what was a remarkable historical night for Burnley.
No, I think there was a good resilience, such a good organisation, there was a good tactical sort of understanding and delivery from the players. Now we found key moments, and I think that mixture, well, it's that edge that you need. I mean, you know, the mentality of the group's been strong. A tough little spell. Question marks start, you know, questions rather start coming around, and the players have to see through that. I think they've done that magnificently in the last two games, to take maximum points from two of the top six. So I'm very, very pleased with them. talk about the end, you know, the end table, because it's unlikely we're going to have a season, I think, without them wins. So, like, look, you know, you think 5 out of 6 seasons Premier League won. So it's not that we want them, it's not that we wait for them, it's just that they occur. And I think on the other hand, you know, it's a madness of it. If you put that into 8 games, then that's 12 points out of that game. You suddenly go, well, actually, that's a good run. So, you know, it's how many times you chuck it down. But I'm really pleased for the players because they have to stay resilient through them tough times, them ups and downs in performances. But the last two are brilliant reward from staying true to what they believe as well. Got really tight grip. I think they give everything against them. I think you ground again. I think the leg went forward. Yeah, I was pleased with that. And at half time, actually, I might be on them a little bit because I was like, don't wait for it. Don't wait for the game. You know, I know you don't wait for it. You know, I've got to take the second half off. In a different way, like that edge to defend, that edge to work, that edge to, not in a way like we're going to dominate the ball, but then we found that moment, and what a good moment it was, by the way. Low cost for different reasons, but Jay was fantastic. And the build-up play, good interchange, really nothing touch the ball to finish, driving to the top corner from there. Yeah, you could work with coming in, grabbing the chance. Boy, he's having chance at the other end. Crystal gets his 10th goal of the season for the 3rd successive season, so you've got strikers there that you know you can always rely on. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. You know, I like the idea of playing 2 up front. I'll get questioned about it, but there is a reason why I like it. And it's been productive for us for a long time now. And people often say to me, you know, the hardest thing in management, I say this when I sometimes get advice speaking of pro license and stuff like that. One of the hardest things in management is actually doing nothing when everyone wants you to do everything. That's one of the hardest things. I'm pleased with that on my managerial side sometimes. You know, a lot of heat. So why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Sometimes it's best to know what the group are doing and know their best way of performing. So I've been pleased with that over this little run that's happened. And we mentioned the strikers have got to mention the defence because they were immense reasons. Yeah, but also the strike's working. You know, that's an important factor. You know, back four was superb, but I thought Mel out, by the way, going to come back in this morning because Bardo went down with a twisted back. It was sore the other day and we were wondering, Mel today, you know, easy game to just come in just this morning. Was that playing? It was excellent, but a lot of good performances, a lot of resilience, a lot of belief in what we do, and 2 sublime moments to win us the game. So really.
Yes, I agree there. Sean, well done, mate. You answered all your critics tonight and last night, and I'm really pleased. Next 3 games for Burnley, Norwich away, Norwich at home rather in the FA Cup, and then home games in the Premier League against Bournemouth. Before that, Arsenal, of course, in a week on Sunday with 2 o'clock kickoff. So I'm going to touch on Manchester United in another video a bit later on tonight because I think things need to be said there about the supporters and what's gone wrong. I don't think this is the video to be doing it because let's focus in, with all due respect to United fans, you may be listening like the new Kate and all that lad, and I know he's a fair-minded United fan, but with all due respect to them, let's just concentrate with Burnley because I think, you know, it's been nearly 3 generations since we won at Old Trafford. 1962, as I said the last time. This is a big moment in their history. It's a magnificent moment in their history, and I tell you what, if that's the win that keeps the Clarets up, what a win! What a fantastic win, and what an amazing achievement for Sean Dyche and his team. And all 11 players deserve a Man of the Match award for what they got. Ben Mee got the television Man of the Match belt incidentally last night, and I'm surprised that it didn't go to either one of J Rod or Jay Rodriguez, or Chris Wood, because they were magnificent as well. But I thought all 11 players did well. Nick Pope did well in goal, and the back 4 magnificent. And Matt Welton in particular deserves a good mention there. Sean Dyche points out that he came in at the last minute this morning. Bardsley pulled up with his back. He hadn't recovered. Despite continuous trying to recover from that, but Ali Beattie did not pass him fit, and Walton got his chance, and boy did he take it well tonight, or last night rather. Well, anyway, that's it from me for now. Don't forget, live commentaries will be back on at the weekend. The FA Cup 4th round. One of the games that we will be featuring will be that 5 o'clock Sunday kickoff between Shrewsbury and Liverpool. That will be from the New Meadow, and there'll be a couple of other games. But check out our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/the JB Clark YouTube channel for all the details from all the other games that we may well be bringing you this weekend. So hopefully we'll look forward to your company then. But for now, from me, JB, on what was an historic night for Burnley Football Club and its history last night. First win for 58 years at Old Trafford. What an achievement. And one that surely will go down, will be remembered for years and years and years to come. From me, JB, have a pleasant rest of your Thursday night, and I hope you've enjoyed this look back. Take care. I'll see you at the weekend. Bye bye.